everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Monster, where my pigs are running really fast still. So yeah, guys, off camera, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff today. I've spent a few hours here building up this little section. I've completed all of these rooms. I've added in all the elevators so we can go up and down to all the different rooms, so on and so forth. You see, yeah, they're all repeat patterns basically of what I've done over here. So yeah, we already have one style going on. I figured it doesn't really make sense to try and make a new style. So yeah, we are continuing on with our pattern. So I got all those set up over here. Took a bit of time, a lot of block placing and things like that. Our big reactor fits in there quite nicely, so we can come down here and take a look. So over here, I have completely switched off of our solar panels. Actually, I didn't even show you that over here. Our solars are completely removed. We are no longer using any solar power for our base. So we're over here now using our big reactor for all of our base power. And yeah, I was originally going to put some cables coming off of this, but then I realized if we do a tesseract, we can send an unlimited amount of power through this. So since we're making 18,000 RF a tick, if we were to use redstone energy conduits, we'd have to have more than one power tap because each conduit can only connect at 10,000 RF a tick. Anyway, so we're doing with the tesseract just so we can have the most amount of power going through with one block. We need to hook up a way to get our yellowrum ingots in there automatically and a way to extract our cyanite ingots, and then we need to start hooking up the reprocessor and all that stuff. So what I was originally going to do is I was going to run some ME cables over here and hook those up to an import bus and export bus to put in the yellowrum and extract the cyanite, but I think we're going to do this a different way. So I was looking through my system here, and I already got a bunch of tesseracts made. Oh, those are just the frames. These block disable. I think we need 2 tesseracts. Okay, we're gonna need some of the tesseracts. We're gonna need some of the. Let's see. Actually, I guess what we could do. I'm curious if this thing automatically ejects the cyanite ingots. So let's try putting a tesseract here. Let's get this thing set up the way we want it. So that is set to main power. I believe we can send items through that, and that goes to our ME system as well. So let's go ahead and turn all these off except for item mode. We want to send items only. Okay, so let's get that hooked up. Let's see if we put this on here, if it sends the cyanite ingots. Oh, great. Now I don't know which one it was. Fluid block, send only on items. It's got to be this one. So if we stick this guy here, we're on main power. That's on items send only. So let's see if we take this off once again. If we have the cyanite ingots, we do. Okay, so it does not push the items out. That's good to know. But what we can do is take this guy, stick it right here. Make sure this is all set. Send only. Yep. All right, so we're gonna need what is that? Item duct. Okay, we can use the impulse item duct. That's fine. We're also gonna need a pneumatic servo. Yeah, we got 9 of those. Whoop, not that. We got 9 of these already made. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll stick that guy here. We'll put the pneumatic servo on there and hit that guy. Okay, very good. If we click on this, yeah, the ingots are still there, so they're still not being pushed out. So I guess we'll do that and ruin everything. That's not really what I wanted to do. Let's empty hand this. Right click and ignored. Oh yeah, there we go. I just saw stuff go through the pipe. So now, yeah, our cyanite has been removed. So we can see this is set to the outlet mode. So any of the cyanite should appear here, and then it'll be extracted out through that item duct, and then into our tesseract, which is going to dump into our main ME system. So if we look in here, however you spell that, yeah, we got 80 of these cyanite. Cyanite. I gotta remember how to spell that. Okay. So yeah, we got 80 of those in here. Those are automatically being put into our system. So another thing we can do, we could probably get another tesseract here. Let's go ahead and check this one out. That's on main power. We don't want that on there. We need to set up a new channel. Yeah, item mode. Receive only. Let's make a new channel. So that's channel 2. That's 3. Let's do a channel 4. We will call this reactor input. There we go. So let's go ahead and add that guy. We will go and turn that on. That's receive only in items. So if we pick this up and stick that there, now all we got to do is send some yellowrum ingots or plutonium through this, and that'll go into our reactor and keep ourselves going. Okay, so that's good. So now we just need to come over here to our main ME system. I guess since I have no real way down below, let's go and break a block out and take a look what we got down here. Yeah, this is where we set up most of our automation stuff. Like this one right here, this is, I think, where we're putting our mob juice through that one tesseract, and we have the power going into that for that one channel. Kind of a silly way to do it, but yeah, that's one way to get the mob juice and the power into one tesseract. So we can do something similar. We're gonna need an export bus. Let's see, do we have any? We have a fuzzy one, don't really want the fuzzy. Let's do, I guess we can just use a basic one. There's really no reason to use anything bigger than that. Okay, so we'll do a basic and we'll do a yellowrum. Oh, you know what? We probably should have both. So when we run out of yellowrum, we can do the plutonium. Yeah, let's put that back in there and change that to a precision export. Precision. Yeah, when you only have the basic, you can only set one item type. We're going to want to have two on here. So yellow, and I don't have any plutonium yet. Okay, so we'll just do the yellowrum for now. Set that guy right here. Very good. So now we got to set up a spot for another tesseract. I guess we can set it over here. Let's grab one of these guys. Yep, we got another one right like this. So tesseract, we will set right there. Should be fine. This is going to be reactor input and item mode send only. Okay, so we can set this guy right here, and we'll set that for a yellowrum. Guess we'll do stack at a time, doesn't really matter. Okay, so that should technically be all we need to do. So if we come over here, remove the tesseract that's currently on there, we should see that it's completely full. Actually, we don't even need to do that. If we come over here and just click on this guy, yeah, we can see this is 100% full now. So I guess just for fun, we can remove this and just click on there. Yeah, that is full. Okay, so that is all we need to do. Just set that guy right like that. That'll keep the yellowrum going into it. This is going to keep pulling the waste product, the cyanite ingots, out. So yeah, now our system is pretty much fully automatic at this point. I do want to note that this is completely full. And can I come up here? And we do have this guy over here going constantly too. So we're drawing power from the laser drill, our ME system, and pretty much everything else that's requiring power. And we have a surplus of power going on right now. So we really don't need anything bigger than what we currently have. So that's great. So the next thing that we need to do is start processing that cyanite ingots into the plutonium. That way we can have that going automatically. We can put that back into our system and keep the process going over and over again, which if we ever run out of yellowrum will probably be a good thing. So let's go make ourselves one of those cyanite reprocessors. Hit O, nope, I could be out of the screen. E, O, escape, right click. Okay, so cyanite. Am I still spelling that wrong? Oh, NEI was just taking a while. ITE. There it is, cyanite reprocessor. So we only gonna need one of these guys. How much of that stuff do we have? Okay, so we don't have the yellowrum fuel rod. Stick that guy right there. What else do we need? We need 2 pistons. I think we have those on auto crap, but we'll just go ahead and manually do that. And there is our cyanite reprocessor. Great. So we need to input the cyanite ingots. We need to give it water. Those are the 2 things that requires. And then we also need to take the other stuff out of it. So where do we want to put that guy? Do we have anything under here? Yeah, we have the laser drill under there. Under this one, I don't think we have anything. Actually, it almost makes more sense if we're doing this specifically for the reactor, that we do it over here in one of these little rooms by the reactor, since it's for the reactor. Okay, so let's pick a room. I think we'll just go ahead and do this guy down here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set the cyanite reprocessor. Is that the center? That's the center. So we'll set that guy right here. We need to give it water. We need to give it the cyanite, and then we need to send the output back to our ME system. Okay, so let me get a few more things going here. I think we need some tesseracts and some other stuff like that, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I had to go ahead and make a few more tesseracts. We had the frames, but I had to craft those and get some other things set up. So like I said, this thing needs some water, needs an input and an output. So we have a tesseract for water, tesseract for input, and a tesseract for output. So as far as the water goes, over here we had our old water system where we were doing the eMaster resource engineer's toolbox thing. So we have all these aqueous accumulators already down here. So I figured we'd go ahead and add a couple more, add all the fluid ducts, and slap a tesseract on there and call it a day. So we have this done. The only thing that I had to do was put that tesseract there, make a new channel for water, that's channel 5, and we have the set for send only. So all these aqueous accumulators should be feeding into here. We probably could, oh, I guess we only need one of those. We probably could slap another one of those fluid ducts on there to give it another side. Maybe do this over here just to make sure we have the most amount of sides covered to input water. I don't know if that's really necessary, more than 3, but there we go. So we added a few more of those fluid ducts over there. So now we can turn this guy on. Let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be item mode blocked, energy mode blocked, fluid mode receive only. We're going to go ahead and set this to owner only, water, click that on. Okay, and then, oops, I just put a bucket of water in there and took it back out. Okay, so we want, I think that's the back side. Blue, okay, so that gave us water input. So then this is marked red, so that's the inputs. We need the red on this side. This is marked green, so we need the green on that side. So this one over here, this is going to be private as well. This is going to be item mode send only, block those channels. So we're going to be sending items to the main power channel. Okay, this side we are going to have to make a new channel, I believe, specifically for the cyanite. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll set this to owner only. So we made the reactor input today. We've made the water. Let's go ahead and do a cyanite. C-Y-N-A-T. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Oh, come on now. Cyanite. Cyanite. Okay. Can I click in here, please? I'm trying to click on the tesseract and NEI won't let me out of this. So let me hit, oh no, that, dang. All right, so I guess that's a thing. If you type in here, it won't let you type back. I'm clicking in the tesseract, it won't let you type out of the NEI. Okay, so that's a thing. That's some kind of a bug. So this is number 5, so we'll make a new one, number 6. Cyanite input. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add that. Thank you. Click this on. Okay, so now we're good. This is going to be receiving items. Receive only. These can be turned off. Okay, so we're going to be receiving the cyanite. It's going to process. Then it's going to be sending over here. Okay, so now we need one more tesseract, which we happen to have just one left. And then we need the export bus once again. And this one we can just do a basic one. So we'll just go ahead and click that on for basic. I think we should have everything available for it to craft. It looks like it's taking a long time. Maybe we don't have everything. What is this? Oh, it's having to craft up a little bit of glass for an interface. Okay, looks like it's done. Okay, so there we go. There's our export bus. We have our tesseract, so now we just need to come down here, find a spot for this thing once again. Where do we want to stick it? I don't know. I think right here should be fine. So we can just go ahead and stick this guy here. We will do this one, click that on. We want this item mode send only. We can block these other guys. There we go. And we can just go ahead and stick that guy right there. Do we need another cable? No, the server's lagging. I think Jevin is exploring a Mistcraft age right now. Okay, so that's fine. This is set to the right thing. So now we just need to get a cyanite. If I can remember how to spell this thing. A cyanite ingot, we'll go ahead and click that there. And now we should be good to go. So if we come over back to our cyanite reprocessor, we should see that it's full up. And hopefully this thing's going to be working with just those 3 Tesseracts. Oh, you know what? We also have to give this thing power, don't we? Okay, so this one right here, we're sending the main power. We can do energy mode receive only. There we go. So now we have cyanite in there. We've given it power. We're giving it water. It's receiving the cyanite. It is going to be exporting, hopefully, the plutonium. It looks like it exported it. So now if we look in our system, there we go. So now we have plutonium. So now we can take one of these guys. Whoops. Hey, stop clicking the wrong thing. Just one of those guys. We can come over to our first tesseract that we hooked up over here that we're exporting Uranium on. If I could come... Sometimes the moving up single block is very annoying. We can come over here to this guy. So we're sending Uranium. We can also send plutonium. So once our Uranium runs out, it will then send the plutonium, but not until that happens. So it's going to be a long time before that ever takes place. And until then, we'll be collecting a whole bunch of plutonium, which is pretty cool. So I can go ahead and put that away. Let's just come down here and make sure this thing is working as intended. Yeah. So how much cyanite do we have? We have 9 left. Okay, so yep, this thing is just going to go ahead and do its thing. And as we collect the cyanite, it'll just process into plutonium, and everything will be good. So we have 7 plutonium ingots. Awesome. How are we doing on the Uranium? We have 45,000 left. So yeah, it's going to be a long time before we ever switch over to the plutonium. But at this point, the system should be pretty much fully going. We won't have to worry about it for some time. Now, another thing people are telling me is that I should use magical crops. Yeah, we should use the magical crops to make uranium, because when you macerate the uranium, when you pulverize it and you smelt it, you get the Uranium. So that's probably our next thing that we need to do. So let's take out the garbage from NEI, and let's see what else. We wanted uranium seeds. So that requires the extreme essence and uranium ore, and the seed, of course, to make one of these. So we're going to need a bunch of those, which means a bunch of extreme essence. We have 45,000. I'm not sure exactly how much the extreme essence does, but do we have the uranium ore? First of all, we do not. So we don't have any uranium. That's something we're probably going to have to go out and find. We need 4 of those ores, because I have turned them all into uranium blocks and into the Uranium. So yeah, I think that's our next step. We need to go find uranium ores. I guess we could wait for our system down here to get them and collect them into our system as well. We don't have any nether uranium or anything like that either. Doesn't look like. No. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go mine some of that stuff. So, tell you guys what, let me see if I can find a couple of pieces of that. I guess 4 pieces, to be honest. We'll make a seed, see if we can start duping that, and we'll be right back. So finding the uranium, probably not going to be that difficult. Is my magnet not turned on? Why are you not turned on, magnet? Turn yourself on. Thank you, magnet. So yeah, just got to go ahead, go through our quarry age, find some uranium in the wall. Like I said, we only needed 4 pieces of this so we can make the 1 seed. Once we get that going, we can use a watering can, get some of the essence going, make more of the ores. It is kind of hard to actually see this stuff. We can make some more of the ores. And there's 1. We need 2 more. Okay, calm down, calm down. Yeah, just make more of the ores, and we can make more of the seeds, etc., etc. And then we can have all of the uranium we're ever going to need ever in Minecraft, period. What are you? You are not uranium. You are that silly Q-craft ore that nobody cares about. What else? Come on, 1 more piece, 1 more piece. Really? Oh, there it is. Got it. All right, guys, meet you back at the base. All right, guys, so I just went ahead and made a few pieces of extreme essence. We actually just made the 4. So right now we are down to 44,000 essence dust. So it didn't really take that much, about 1,000 essence, give or take. I don't really remember what the exact count was to make the 4. But yeah, so now we can put the 4 uranium ore in there. We can do this, click that guy, and there we go. There's a uranium seed. So now we can do the super cheaty watering can on the lily pads with the uranium seed. I think we have to come down here and tell this thing. We have to let it know that it can... Oh, is that not... Well, how does this thing work? Oh, you know what? Okay, I think that's fine. Those chickens and their eggs are really annoying. Where is it? Chicken, get out of here. Sheep, get out of here. Chicken, get out of here. You're making my magnet go crazy. Okay, so I think the way this is set up, all we have to do is just put the seed here. We don't have to worry about setting the pattern. So then we could just take our watering can, do this, make it grow really fast. It'll turn into the uranium dust, get harvested, replant. Do that a few times, we'll get more of the uranium, we can get more seeds, etc., etc. Another thing we could do is just go back to the quarry age and try and find more uranium for more seeds to speed this up. I'm not really sure which way is the faster way. This seems kind of slow for it to harvest the seed and then put the seed back. I'm pretty sure it will put that seed back though. Hopefully, sometime. There it is. Okay, so now we can just go ahead and water this. It grows. There we go. So what kind of a thing does that give us? Let's go ahead and check that out, actually. There it is. Uranium essence. So I never really looked at this. So if we click on this guy... Okay, so we need 8 of those to make 1 uranium ore. We're going to need, what is that, 32 of those to make a new seed. I think it will be a lot faster just to go and collect more uranium ore. So I'm going to get on that, try and get some more seeds going, and then that'll get us on our way for infinite power. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Alright guys, so I just went ahead and went back to the quarry age, collected 36 more uranium ore, and I believe we needed 36 more of the extreme essence to continue on with that. So that should allow us to make 9 more of these seeds. Go ahead and do that. Yep, there we go. There's 9 more. So now we have a total of 10 of them. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. How much of the essence do we have left? 35,000. All right, so we're still doing pretty good on that stuff. So now that we have these seeds, we can come over here, just stick it in our setup, use a watering can. Yeah, and this way we will collect the uranium essence fairly quickly. Watering can, just go ahead and do this. And yeah. So this can be going automatically all the time. We'll collect the uranium essence, and yeah, we'll be able to create the uranium blocks. We can macerate those, turn it into the yellow, and therefore we should eventually have unlimited power. Technically, we won't need to use the plutonium, but I don't know. I just want to get that set up just because it's part of the mod. You can use that. We might expand out to more the big reactors. I don't know yet. Why am I getting... Why did I just get nausea? What the heck? As far as I... Oh! The uranium gives you nausea. Okay, that must be what it is. I was thinking that Jevin, who's on the server right now, was messing around with something Thaumcraft, and somehow that was affecting me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the uranium gives you nausea when you're close to it. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. But yeah, so I think that will wrap up this project. I mean, we're pretty much set to go now. We have everything set up to be automatic. Our base is now powered off the big reactors. The cyanite ingots are now being reprocessed into the plutonium, which can also be used to fuel the reactor. And we have all of the uranium we're ever going to need, well, a start to that. I'll go ahead and make this so this whole farm is full of these eventually. But yeah, I think that is pretty awesome. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and we'll see you next time.